serious. They can take your paychecks, your bank accounts, even your home or business. Don't take on the IRS by yourself. You need to call the experts at Optima Tax Relief. They specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that could save you thousands if you qualify. Optima's tax professionals fight to protect you from the IRS by helping you resolve your tax debt. The Better Business Bureau has awarded them an A+ rating, and you will too. Put the hard times behind you. Get America's #1 tax relief firm on your side. Call now and get a free consultation today.
Call 800-725-9935. 800-725-9935. 800-725-9935.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
On to weather alert now. Late season tornadoes tore through Texas and Oklahoma. Multiple homes leveled and debris falling from the sky very early this morning. One twister touched down in Dakota outside the Dallas-Fort Worth area and another just south of Oklahoma City. It's just the beginning of what meteorologists are predicting days of severe weather across parts of the region.
We're talking about Title 42 being lifted and what that would do here in the community. We have to be cognizant with the fact that it's already here. Look at the vast numbers that increased in the past last 3-4 days. Those numbers are unsustainable, and that is with Title 42 in place.
All right, so when somebody is leading so many in the city, we need to listen to that alarm. We are now just 8 days away from Title 42, with thousands of people waiting across the border. And I had described this earlier this hour when Steve Forbes financial impact that this will have on our country and in our communities, because they're not just going to stay at the border, obviously. They're going to fan all over. El Paso City just then was talking about they see a daily average of 2,400 people coming across. That was just over the weekend. Those cameras captured video of more than 1,000 illegals entering El Paso. And that's now considered the city's largest ever single mass crossing. Republicans are blaming President Biden's policies and say it's not an accident.
This is not a failure policy because they want an open border. And what you saw this weekend is going to be nothing in just a couple of weeks.
This Biden administration has caused. The only problem is the people that live it or those along the border. It's pure chaos. Hollywood movie.
They're in a state of denial. Secretary Mayorkas refused to acknowledge it's even a problem. He calls it a challenge.
The President of the United States is planning a trip to Mexico City in the new year to put pressure on that country on illegal immigration. He's yet to visit our own southern border, our side of it, to see what American towns, communities, and counties, and sheriffs, and National Guard and Border Patrol are living through. We get that through our reporting. Bill Belushi, live for us in La Joya, Texas. Bill.
Is going to be visiting El Paso today, meeting with frontline Border Patrol and CBP agents, though his schedule has not been made public to the media. But if you're around town, here's a little bit of what he might see out there. Take a look at this. Our team shot in El Paso last night. Migrants living on the streets. Hundreds of them have been controlled to the streets in El Paso, in part because of that large caravan that came in over the weekend and because of those huge numbers they are seeing. Typically, Border Patrol shelter or to an NGO, but all the shelters are over capacity, as are Border Patrol facilities. They got more than 5,000 people in custody, so they've been releasing people to the streets. This is one little street corner we went to last night. Dozens of people sleeping, camping, and waiting. They've got nowhere to go right now. This release is to show you our team outside of a parking garage in Brownsville, where we once again witnessed Border Patrol and the federal government releasing migrants at this parking garage in downtown Brownsville. As you can see, they're all single adults. They walk in a single file line across the street to a local NGO there. The NGO helps get their travel documents together, and they travel all across the United States via bus. And Border Patrol sources tell me they are doing upwards of 10 buses every single day there of these releases at this point. Then we will take you tomorrow. Let's take a look at this video. This is the Mexican border city directly across from Brownsville, which we just showed you. There are thousands of migrants there waiting for Title 42 to drop in 8 days. We went to local streets, to public parks. We found hundreds of migrants camped out waiting for Title 42 to drop. In 8 days, these people you see, they're planning on walking entering the United States illegally. Then how bad has it gotten? Take a look at this tweet from the Chief of U.S. Border Patrol, Chief Raul Ortiz, tweeting, quote, "In the past 48 hours, Border Patrol has seen 16,000 plus migrant encounters, over $97 million worth of narcotics busts, 4 firearms, one of which was stolen, 3 gang members, 2 sex offenders, 2 murderers, 2 warrants, 1 injury to a child. Another weekend of hard work by our agents." All of that. And back out here live, CBP sources telling Fox News, just today we have now crossed the 500,000 migrant encounters mark for fiscal year 2023. Keep in mind, the new fiscal year began on October 1st, so that means in 74 days, we have now hit more than 500,000 migrant encounters. That averages out to about 6,800 every single day, Harris. We'll send it back to you.
Real quickly, because, you know, Bill, you and I are at the border together, and we've talked about gotaways. Do they have any idea from those sensors and those cameras that are set up away from where they can see people in person what we're looking at?
We are looking at over 135,000 known gotaways, Harris. 73,000 last month.
That's a lot. All right, thank you for the update. Boy, those numbers are jarring. And Bill, thank you. Bill couldn't make it any easier to witness and understand, yet administration officials say everything is under control. Here's National Security Advisor.
We do have estimates of how many encounters there are at the. We have believed that system is a system that does an effective job of being able to determine who is coming across the border and what the right way to deal with their case is.
Are there national security concerns?
Steps to be able to manage the expiration of Title 42 and to put in place a process that will be orderly and humane. And we believe that in doing so, we can protect national security concerns.
You better be right. The cover of the New York Post today reads, "Rush Hour. Thousands wait as border will be thrown wide open in just 8 days." The editorial board writes, most of the people crossing should apply for it, but Biden lets them in anyway. Gianno Caldwell, Fox News political analyst, Jose Aristimuño, former DNC deputy press secretary. Gentlemen, this is going to be a lightning round. Let's hit it first with you, Jose. If you can even approach defending what this is doing right now, as our agents are seeing a tick up in suicides, they're overrun at the border.
Look, it's a tough issue. Just last week, they caught 1.5 million pills of fentanyl at the border in Nogales, Arizona. So the Border Patrol, this administration, they're doing their job. But if we want to do a better job, a faster job, we got to make sure that we pass some sort of border to get it passed. The president's budget 2023 has got hundreds of millions of dollars for border enhancement. If Republicans really care, Harris, about immigration, well, let's put resources on the ground. Let's stop finger pointing.
But you know, but Jose, and again, we got to keep. You know, Gianno, that the problem isn't just pour money on this. You got to slow down the surge. Absolutely. I mean, can you imagine 18 rejected a day coming over when Title 42 goes away in 8 days?
Insanity. Illusion just showed us is a complete dereliction of duty by Joe Biden himself. You want to talk about what his policies have done? Just fiscal year 2022, we saw 2.7 that we know of million people come over here. The year before that, 1.7 million that we know of. So a year later, you have 1 million more people, not to mention over 100 people on the terror watch list that have been caught that we know of. This is a bipartisan issue. It should be a bipartisan. but it takes a president who's willing to acknowledge that this is a major problem. It's not simply a challenge. This is something that is impacting the lives of millions of people. Not only that, for the first time in our country's history, in a 12-month period, we've seen over 100,000 Americans who have overdosed from the use of a drug. So for anybody to say anything outside of this is something that we need to work on immediately is gaslighting and lying to us.
Gentlemen, but when we come back together again, let's talk about Title 42, because you know they could move that date. The White House could do that. Maybe they'll do the right thing and they'll push it back so we can stem this tide while we catch up and maybe spend some of those resources to hire more people, judges. Good to see you both. Outnumbered.
Well, Shopify says you can sell anywhere. Oh, they mean it. Woo, hold up. Just got a new sale. Order fulfilled and shipped. Inventory levels good. Whoa, Shopify doesn't at sea level or on top of the world. Climbing mountains is never easy, but at least Shopify gives me all the tools I need for my business to hit new peaks.
Whether you're selling carabiners or crop tops, start selling with Shopify today. The platform simplifying commerce for millions of businesses worldwide. We've built a platform so you can keep climbing and grow your business to new heights.
With Shopify, you from anywhere.
This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Start selling online today. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/Fox News. Shopify.com/Fox News. Shopify.com/Fox News. Internet connection required. Not available on mountaintops or seafloors.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare, and here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. And it's true, the typical family switching to MediShare saves $500 or more a month, which is obviously huge for a lot of people, but what's more, they like it. Rate compared to health insurance, double. There are 400,000 members. They've shared over $4 billion in medical bills, and it really is a great community too. People encourage and pray. And here's the thing, if you join MediShare Complete right now, they'll waive your new member fees and you'll save an additional 10% off all of 2023. That's right, no fee to join, 10% off every month of next year, but it's a very limited time offer. First, great savings, great health care. Find out more. Call now. 844-61-BIBLE. Bible. 844-61-BIBLE.
Message and data rate. Experts are saying gold and silver prices are about to skyrocket due to growing political and economic. The U.S. Constitution authorizes two forms of legitimate money, gold and silver. And gold and silver half a century ago. To help protect your assets, Swiss America has a very special offer for Fox listeners. Silver walking $half at the amazingly low price of $12.75 each delivered. You heard this right, $12.75. Call or text now to reserve your silver coins at 800-289-2646. That's 800-289-2646. Silver Walking Liberty $half for just $12.75 each delivered to your door while supplies last. That's 800-289-2646. Again, call or text 800-289-2646 or visit America.com/Fox News.
Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely.
Guys, 2022's been a roller coaster year, so spoil her this Christmas by giving her the next to wearing nothing at all with soft, silky, naturally nude pajamas exclusively from Pajamagram. Sensuous and smooth, naturally nude pajamas feel just like her own bare skin, even more alluring than lingerie. The texture and touch of these pajamas is so seductive that you'll both love the feel of them. She'll love the feeling of wearing next to nothing at all. You'll love the way they look. Best of all, Pajamagram does the wrapping for you with free gift packaging. Order today and Pajamagram will also include a free matching naturally nude nightie with the purchase of naturally nude pajamas. That is free gift packaging and a free naturally nude nightie when you order today. Just go to Pajamagram.com. Delivery by Christmas is guaranteed. That's Pajamagram.com.
How do I address an employee who smells blood all the time?
Talk to Bambi.
One of our employees just reported sexual harassment.
Talk. With Bambi, get access to your own dedicated HR manager starting at just $99 per month. By phone, email, and real-time chat, so onboarding and terminations run smoothly. Reach peak performance, and your business stays compliant with changing HR regulations. And with Bambi's HR Autopilot, you'll automate important HR practices like setting policies, training, and feedback. HR managers can eat $80,000 a year, but Bambi starts at $99 per month. Start your free conversation today to see how much Bambi can take off your plate. Bambi knows it's hard out there, so here's listeners of this show. Sign up now, and Bambi will pay for your setup fee. Save up to $1,500, but only for a limited time. Visit Bambi.com and type Fox News under radio to save up to $1,500. Spelled BAM, B-E-E, Fox News Radio.
Excited to be with you, along with my co-host Emily Campagno, outnumbered right now. Joining us today, Kennedy, Jackie DeAngelis, and Charles Payne, bringing it from Fox Business Superstars. Guys, let's begin with a long list of fraud charges against FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried. You know, he was arrested in the Bahamas just hours before he was set to testify on Capitol Hill in a House hearing on collapse. Lawmakers on both sides of the political aisle are going after the timing of all of this. They wanted Bankman-Fried to answer for the billions of dollars his company squandered while his employees their shirts and everything else. Now, they won't get the chance to question him, at least not at this point, because he's in custody in Bahamas. Instead, he faces extradition on a series of criminal charges. Laundering, conspiracy to violate campaign finance laws, a whole host of them. Charles, what are the ripple effects in the financial world today of this?
Well, the market is not paying attention to this as much as it had earlier in the week, but there are massive ripple effects, and it goes way beyond crypto. In fact, I hate that it's even considered a crypto story. And that's one of the things that's frustrating me watching these lawmakers right now and the questions that they're asking. It's a lot of finger pointing, a lot of, dissing crypto. Here's the thing. This is more than even a Sam Bankman-Fried story. This is a story about a system that is so corrupt between Silicon Valley and Wall Street that they have been ripping off the American public for billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars every single year. This is our chance to wake up on. FTX is just part of that. FTX is just a tiny part of that. So yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried, I pray that he pays everything that he could and should, to all these victims, over 1.2 million people. That platform as an exchange. It's not. My biggest fear, though, some of that hearing is that it's going to be misreported. It's going to be a crypto story. It's going to be a Sam Bankman-Fried story. It's going to be a story why this party didn't do that, instead of an indictment on a system that is run amok.
And when you say party, you don't even mean political party. He was the second largest donor for Democrats, next to Uber. So there are people, and Leo Terrell, Matthew Whitaker, formerly of the Trump administration, was on with me, the former AG. They were talking about there are people who right now, Democrats who took money, and it's dirty money.
I agree with that, and I think that's part of the reason that the charges were filed in this way right before this hearing. I'm not necessarily sure that's the case. I actually think he's been running his mouth off, sitting down with the New York Times, doing interviews, and it is completely inappropriate. It makes the SEC and the CFTC look silly in this situation, and that is why he did it. And so they didn't want to give him another opportunity to be able to do that. We're talking about very serious criminal charges here, and as Charles points out, I also never really thought that this story had to do with crypto per se. A small piece of it does, but the rest is garden variety fraud that the Justice Department really needs to investigate here. And you also have to think about, the more he runs off his mouth, the more opportunity he have when he's extradited to say, well, I'm not going to get a fair trial, everybody's biased against me, or this, that, and the other thing happened. So I think they wanted to try to cut it off, make sure that they had the case sewn up to bring it.
That is shady. So he talks to the public and actually dirties the pool that they would have to pull a jury trial from, potential jurors from, and then they get to call it, unfair.
Right, he can certainly argue that. I don't think it's going to work. Here's what I think viewers should know about those charges. Two things. Number one, leverage for the penalties. Leverage is a plea deal, and then how it impacts the juries. There are two elements about white-collar crimes that the public hates. When someone else doesn't pay their taxes because they have to pay their taxes, and when someone takes from them. And on the other side, the penalties for these charges are so stiff. Just one conspiracy to commit wire fraud, that can be upwards of 25 years. One charge of wire fraud, upwards of